I actually do have love in my heart for autumn, but part of that love is actually kind of just necessary so I don't get swept up in like autumn winter blues. So this is what this video is for. It is about love, but part of it is born out of fear. But it's exciting. Autumn, you know, there is love in my heart for it. Cozy nights in, that's very much like naturally on the agenda for me anyway, so why wouldn't I enjoy that in autumn? Horror movies, one of my, maybe even my favourite genre of movie. It's so exciting for there to be new releases or when they're showing older horror movies in cinemas. Horror nights, this is actually only something that I've actually got into I only went to my first horror night last year and it was actually so much fun. As a kid, like me and my sister would always watch like theme park videos on YouTube. I feel like I've only ever consumed horror nights like through that, or like specifically looking at specific ones like the old Thorpe Park Saw horror maze, rest in peace. You know, there is like so much that is exciting. So yeah, you know what, like I do actually like autumn. Like me and autumn are friends. Like I just need to accept friendship with summer ended, new friendship with autumn began, and treat it like a friendship. Like I have to give my love for autumn to give its love back to me. I feel like in summer I'm more open to overdressing because I'm gonna be warm either way, but in autumn and winter, if I'm underdressed, I'm in a bad mood. I do not like being cold. So it is really a practical element of me of like, how do I dress and still feel like myself, but how do I also feel warm? What else better to romanticize than lovely outfits that keep me warm, that keep at bay, you know, the parts of autumn which perhaps I like less. This is what I'm excited for in my mind about fashion for autumn, for my outfits, and basically just what is trending in my brain. I don't want to call them trends because I'm not trying to say these are trendy. These are just things that are trending in my brain. So I suppose these are just things that I'm thinking about. Well, this is, I would say thing one, but this is kind of thing zero. I think it's very easy to get swept up in like what you like don't have or like what's the new thing. So I always try and take a moment just to be like, okay, but like what have I actually liked, or like what have I tried before and then didn't like, you know, just to remember where I've come from, who I've been. And in some ways it's like a nice comfort blanket to take into a month that maybe I kind of enjoy less. These are really important for being in a place where you can approach your wardrobe and not be overwhelmed by it and not be like, I have nothing to wear. I feel like it can be quite easy to create a fantasy world, which is very fun to do, but when it comes to trying to more like consciously consume, it is helpful when you're then looking to buy something to actually look at your wardrobe and be like, am I going to wear this? And that's just one of the easiest ways to do it, really, is just looking at, okay, well, what have I worn? Which sounds really obvious, but yeah, basically this is what this is what those items are for me. Pink, white and green as the main colours of my wardrobe. This for me just makes putting outfits together like really, really simple. Controversial take, cable knit sweaters. I will say I'm still looking for the perfect one. I feel like I have like quite a streak of having the most simple items on my wish list for quite a long time and never coming across just quite the right thing. But who knows, maybe this fall will be the fall. The thing that I'm always pairing with something else are white tights in the autumn. Once you start needing to like really layer up the tights to like fleece lined tights, I don't know if it's just me, but the ones I have, like I've got like a couple pairs from different places and they're all just quite orange. So white tights are a great universal tight to just put on over that, and like not because it matches my skin tone, I'm not like that pale, but you know, in a way that looks intentional and cohesive with my outfits. So yeah, white tights, absolute must for autumn. Bows are definitely a go-to accessory as well. I do feel like they feel a bit more special towards autumn and winter. They're on the cusp of like a gift giving season and it's exciting, and they wrap presents and they wrap as decorations. But yeah, with that foundation out the way, let's move on to the other things. Bunnies. They're just infinitely cute. Like, what better style icon could you get than a literal bunny? I feel like there are two key ways, you know, to use bunnies as style inspiration. The first is like emanating bunny vibes. So dressing like a bunny, or dressing like how a bunny would had it become a human. Like bunny on a metaphysical level, or just like straight up like, this is what a bunny looks like I'm. And the second is adopting bunnies into an outfit, like as a pattern. So literally just taking a bunny's cuteness and adding it into your outfit, and I love both. For imitating an actual bunny, one way I love this is with like a big hair accessory, long bow tails as kind of like lop bunny ears, or having a big bow so the corners of the bow are peeking out from when you're looking face on to kind of imitate what bunny ears look like. Yeah, or just like straight up having bunny ears on items of clothing. And this is one that I would like a bit more of in my wardrobe, as much as I'm not trying to like go through these things to create a wish list of things that I want. I would absolutely love a huge comfy cozy coat that has some bunny ears attached to it. I'll be keeping an eye out. I don't think I'll necessarily seek it out, but if I ever see one, it's coming home with me. And then for me, how I kind of like conceptualize dressing up as a bunny as if it became a human is using Sylvanian families as style inspiration, because I feel like that really nails the vibe, which is props to obviously the Sylvanian families, like creative team and designers, because they just do a fabulous job. But yeah, I think that is kind of epitomizes like what I'm saying here. With the straight up like incorporation of bunnies into an outfit, I think, you know, carrying a bunny through an accessory is a really fun way to do that, because it's like you have a little bunny pal with you. If I'm looking at something and I'm just being reminded of a bunny, yeah, I'm having a good time. Even though I've focused specifically on bunnies for this thing, I do feel like this easily translates to other animals, and like again, using the Sylvanian families like critter catalogue as an example, there's so many different cute creatures that are just ripe for inspiration. Not groundbreaking, but specifically for me, as someone whose wardrobe is pretty much exclusively made up of white, green and pink, adding a splash of brown in has been kind of a crazy thing. I touched on this in the other video I've made, but I've quite liked the concept of it as a punctuation. So just to break up that like white, green and pink that I'm really used to seeing, I think throwing in a bit of a darker shade, and because my hair is brown as well, I do feel like it just adds that extra bit of depth to an outfit, which is specifically really fun for autumn where you need to start layering, and brown is just the perfect colour to be feeling very autumnal in. This sounds strange, I can't say this is like a style inspiration, but for some reason this is stuck in my head. I've really been enjoying white chocolate Kinder Buenos at the moment, and when I'm looking at a white chocolate Kinder Bueno, I'm like, that's the autumn vibe. Like a nice cream colour, some brown. I don't know why my brain has latched on to the concept of a white chocolate Kinder Bueno, but it has, and that's kind of factored into my autumn inspiration, and specifically this item of brown as a colour of contrast. I've been very careful with this one to not overdo it on the brown, because I know come summer and spring, like my affection for brown is not going to be as significant. This is particularly centering autumn and winter related items that I would only wear in those seasons as brown, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't be wanting to wear these items of clothing in the spring and summer anyways. Like for example, I've got some bunny bonnets and I'm not going to be wearing those in summer anyways. So it kind of makes sense, you know, to introduce brown in that element, because it's appropriate for the season where I'm going to want to wear it. Brown is also a more practical colour for the colder months because the weather's worse and I'm less afraid of getting shoes that are brown dirty, for example, because it's less visible. So I also do like that practical element of it also. Any cutesy pattern, I'm on the fan list. I'm subscribed to the Substack. I will love what she puts out. But specifically polka dots have been one that I've overlooked previously. So actually that kind of counters what I just said, but yeah. I'm aware that polka dots have been a bit of the flavour of the month. So I'm not trying to just be too pulled in to an actual trend, but I think part of what it is I haven't given them enough recognition for how much I've previously been enjoying them. This might just sound really dumb, but I feel like I've just become conscious of polka dots recently. I don't want to just be enjoying polka dots because it's a trendy thing at the moment and they've sort of been visualized in a certain way that I'm enjoying that would just be temporary. But I do think like going back through like my old vintage likes and, you know, Pinterest pins and that sort of thing, there's a lot of stuff that I was actually into. I just wasn't conscious of the fact that they had polka dots on them, and I just feel like I've become more conscious of polka dot. It's a cute extra for my outfits. I definitely think I'm conscious of not overdoing it, especially given the topicality of them. And you know, I can always wait and slowly introduce more polka dot into my wardrobe if that's something I'm interested in. But you know, I'm trying to make sure it's not just because I'm overly aware of them at the moment and end up getting like flashbanging myself with polka dot every time like I open my wardrobe. Whether it's a lace or ruffle in a sock, an accessory, an item of clothing, I feel like it's just always a welcome addition to my outfit. Like I don't think I would ever turn it down necessarily unless it's for practical reasons. Simone Rocha Spring 2022, you will always be famous to me for this reason. I love a bit of overdoing it. I love it subtle. I love it overdone. I love it with anything. And that runway is just... that runway is just a gorgeous example of what I could only hope would fill my dreams at night. I feel like I can't properly explain it without just, you know, using the same adjectives over and over, but I do feel like truly like my heart is partly got like lace ruffle trim. There is something in the fact that I think I like a lot of my outfits having quite like a scrapbook feel. Like laces and ruffles in an outfit are kind of the equivalent of like washi tape and deco stickers. The outfit is already pretty, but it's just that extra glue. For this one, I definitely have like my go-tos for how I incorporate this into an outfit. So socks, tights, and hair accessories are the big one for me. And I do feel like I'm interested in trying to be a bit more playful with it, like in my actual clothing, which is what is great because autumn is the perfect time to do that because you need more layers for practicality. So yeah, I'm really excited to try and like intentionally play around a bit more with this. And you know what, it has been a bit of a journey because a few years ago, you know, I felt a bit unsure. I felt a bit out there wearing white and lace tights and it felt like that pushed out of my comfort zone. And now for me, it's just my go-to, it's my normal. So it is nice as well to reflect on how, you know, that kind of like preference has built over time. And I've got to a point where I can just enjoy it so much. You know, I know my enjoyment of this will continue and hopefully the way I use it and style it will just continue to refine as time goes on as well. This one I feel like is almost like a culmination of a lot of the other things in the list, but I still wanted to separate it out as its own thing. This is like partly, you know, the intentional choice to break away a bit from what you expect from a piece of clothing, you know. So instead of just wearing a shirt or a top, it's a big exaggerated collar. Instead of just wearing a puffer coat, it's an extra puffy coat. There's just a real gentle drama that I love to it. So I think like part of this is maybe avoiding too exaggerated silhouettes. Like I wouldn't wear spikes on my shoulder, I don't think. Almost like, you know, an outfit is like there's an original outfit which was the seed, and then the final outfit with this like exaggerated soft drama silhouette is the plant that has bloomed from the seed. Like that feeling of blooming I do love from an outfit. Something that is slightly exaggerated, but in a way that like the specific styling of it feels very gentle. I love fashion, I love creativity, I love styling, I love having fun, and this is just a reminder of all of that exists in autumn, and that is exciting. I feel like I haven't expressly said, but I'm very big into secondhand fashion, and at this point I think easily a majority of my wardrobe is secondhand. It is a very central pillar to my wardrobe choices. So actually maybe we should retcon the list and add secondhand clothing as thing -1. Especially I do love browsing a charity shop and having a mooch around. So yeah, I do feel like a big part of this is trying to focus on what I do have in my wardrobe, not what I don't. Although there are a couple things, I've just come off the back of a no buy month that I think I would like to get this month. So I may do like a small collective haul, but I don't want that to feel like that's what powers my wardrobe, because it's not. It's all of these wonderful things that I've loved before and have loved and I've already got in my wardrobe. Like I've already made another video styling some of like my autumn favorites from my wardrobe at the moment, but this definitely has me wanting to like dive straight back into it all again and style some outfits with, instead of a specific piece of item in a specific item of clothing in mind, instead, you know, perhaps using some of the themes and the things that I've chosen out from this video and styling outfits according to that. So I do think I will try and find some maybe like dedicated time to just play some dress up. If you somehow happen to be watching this video, there was a very slim chance of it happening, so sorry to make it weirdly personal, but hey. I feel, you know, it's a lot of me speaking. If you have something you wish to share, you know, I'd be interested in hearing it, whether it's something, you know, you're enjoying in fashion in the moment, something you're excited for autumn or the rest of the year. feel free to share, you know, if not at least so, you know, in years to come, you can look through your old YouTube comments history and have a little time capsule of, you know, what you were enjoying at the moment. I won't judge. I'm excited now, so it worked. Let's go. Thanks for watching.